All right, we are live. Again, the video is choppy and it's like Godzilla, so that's why we have beautiful slides, so that you can hear my voice and we can still get some learning done. So I'm going to share my screen here. One second. All right. Aaron or Lindsay, if you could text me and let me know if you can see my slides here. Eventually I'll get good at this and I'll be able to tell, but I just want to make sure that you can see before I start babbling. All right, perfect. Okay, so I titled this, I was going to talk about cold market strategies. That's what was requested for a topic, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I don't really have a cold market, and I don't ever want to feel like I do. I always want to just be expanding my warm market so that it's kind of what I call my lukewarm market. I'm going to talk about the difference between a true cold market and a lukewarm market and the benefits to each. So, but before I start with that, I do recommend that you start with your warm market, the people that you already know. They're really good people to just practice this business with, because you can just be yourself, talk to your family, close friends, and just be like, hey, I'm new at this, you want to try this out. And it's just a lot easier, and they're very forgiving of you when you maybe make a mistake or say something that's maybe something that you wish you wouldn't have said. But this business is really all about practicing and just jumping into it even before you feel ready. So that warm market is really, really awesome for just trying out the whole, like, having conversations and how to talk about joining one of your fitness groups and things like that. So that's not what this call is about. This is more when you're kind of moving beyond that warm market. And I do feel like you can never really say that your warm market is done. I do think there's always going to be people in your warm market that have told you no, that aren't ready yet. So just know that the follow-up is the secret sauce. So just keep building that list of no's so that you have people to follow up with months down the road to see if they're ready at that point in their life to do a challenge group. So let's get started. My first suggestion is to post about non-health related topics. Brittany actually messaged me about this very topic, so it reminded me that it's definitely a good thing to discuss here. So a lot of people come to my page because of my family and what I post about my family. So they see mom posts that I make about Mari, and honestly, a lot of people follow me because of Chad and him being in a wheelchair, and they find it fascinating. So you have to find the things about you that are unique, and a lot of those people, they may have a mutual friend with me, but they see that I'm posting about something, and it usually doesn't have to do with fitness, and then they start following my page because of a post that I had made about Chad or Mari or being a teacher. So know that you don't have to just talk about your sweaty selfies and getting a workout in and Shakeology and eating healthy. I think you definitely need to talk about it, but not all the time. So you need to pepper in pieces of you so that you are truly finding your tribe. You're not going to find your tribe by just posting about health and fitness, because you're trying to reach the people that currently aren't working on their health and fitness. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, so main things here, just to be unique and set yourself apart. There's a lot of Beachbody coaches out there. We all know that. But you need to really dial into who you are. And if you don't know who that is, then that's the point where you need to do some personal development, figure out what your niche, however you say that word, really, really is, because you want the people who aren't like you to pretty much be almost turned off by you so that they don't follow you. You want to really dive into that so that when you do have conversations with these newer people, it feels second nature, because they feel like they already know you and you have so many things in common because of the things that you're posting. They feel like they know you. And if you're confused on kind of what other topics to post about, I do recommend just checking out some other top coaches like pages just to get some ideas. Definitely don't copy them, but just get a feel for how to pepper in other things, like, you know, hair tutorials or makeup, or you love reading books, or you like to knit, things like that. So, but don't copy them, and also don't follow them forever. Just kind of get a flavor of how they mix it up a little bit. These are going to generate, like I said, page likes that are your tribe, and they don't cost anything. It's just coming from high quality content that you're posting on your page. And be bold in knowing yourself, like I said, and posting about it. And share your story authentically. Those are just kind of the key points that I wanted to talk about. Now, sharing your story authentically might mean talking about something that's difficult that you've gone through, and it's okay to repeat that story, because as you gain followers, they may not have seen that you posted about it last month. So it doesn't have to be a copy and paste from last month, but revisit who you are and the core of who you are multiple times, because people need to remember, like, this is who I am, and this is why I post here. I want to make a difference in the world. I want people to be healthier. So that's it for that one. All right, so the next one is to be predictable. This is just really about being consistent, and I talked about this in the video that I had made for this team that I posted on our team page, but being predictable builds trust. So we really need to let the people know that are following us that we're totally in this, and I talked about this on our last team call, but it is the, I think, biggest determining factor of my personal success has been my consistency, because I have had over a dozen people in my lukewarm market, we have mutual friends but I don't know them, message me and join my challenge groups, and they say, I have been watching you for a couple of months and I'm ready to jump in. If I wasn't consistent, or I missed a couple of weeks and didn't post anything, I don't know that I would have gotten those messages out of the blue. So I really encourage you to be consistent, even if it's once a day, just to let the world, let Facebook know that you're still here and you still care about people and the people that are following you. So on average, people need to read something 8 to 10 times before they jump in. So, and I love stats, so there's a stat for you. Knowing that, it makes it a little bit easier to realize, okay, I probably need to talk about the coaching opportunity a little bit more often before people are going to answer a post where, you know, you're saying, I want people to join my team. So Sorry, I was just looking at a message. Kenzie is trying to get into our group. All right. Would somebody be able to copy the link that I posted on our team page and then email it to Kenzie's email? Lindsay, you want to do that maybe? Okay. All right. So back to this, being predictable. Because people need to see things that many times, we need to be fearless about posting and consistently posting and not feeling like we're being repetitive, because people kind of need to let it sink in and they need to let it marinate in their brain a little bit. So be okay with being passionate and being fearless, and just know that it's part of the process. Okay, so you don't have to copy paste like I said, but just refer to the coaching opportunity or refer to your challenge groups that you're hosting multiple times. Pepper it in over a couple of weeks. All right, so the last thing with this is, if you do have a post that has a lot of engagement and reach and likes on your Fit page, you can, what I recommend that's been working for me lately is I'll boost a post after I know it has had good success and people are liking it and commenting on it. Because if you put a boost on that and it becomes an ad in other people's news feeds, they're more likely to click on it if they see that there's already been a lot of engagement on it. So, and what I do is I select the option to target those who like my page and their friends. So that's just something I've been testing out recently. I haven't done a scientific statistical analysis on it by any means. So, but just know that's kind of what I've been doing lately for my boosts, and I really haven't been paying a lot for ads, and I'll talk about that at the end. So be predictable and consistent. All right, so the big question of what do I do with somebody who likes my page that's brand new, maybe has mutual friends, maybe doesn't. So there's kind of a step-by-step process that I go through, and I was doing this wrong for a very, very long time, and I probably missed out on a lot of conversations, because once I switched over to doing it this way, nearly every new page like that I get, I have started real conversations with these women, and I don't know them really at all. We maybe have anywhere from 5 to 30 mutual friends, but I've never met them before. So here's what I do. If I get a new page like and I get a notification, what I do is I click on their profile to just kind of get a feel for what kind of person they are, what are they putting out on Facebook. And some of them are definitely not my tribe, and this may sound like we judge people by their, the cover, but really Facebook is, you're advertising yourself and you're branding yourself. So if people are branding themselves as partying all the time, and that's just not me. So, if I see they have a family, or they go to church or things like that, things that connect with me, then I send them a friend request. Okay? Most of the time, I'd say 9 times out of 10, they accept my friend request. As soon as we're friends, then I'm able to see everything on their profile. So I look through their timeline, and this is like in real time. So as soon as I get the acceptance that they accepted my friend request, I immediately go to their page. I look through their timeline, scroll through maybe back, 20-some posts, and I look for something to connect with that maybe I want to know more about, or that we have in common, so that I can send them a message. And on the next page, I'm going to show you an example of a script that I use that you can use, and I can send this to you as well on our team page. So once I have, again, looked through their profile to determine if we would be, good to connect, I send them a friend request. I look through their profile to find something to connect with, and then what I do is I send them something like this. Okay, so it says, "Hi, thank you so much for visiting my page, Making a Better You, Mind, Body, and Soul. I popped over to say hi and let you know how much I appreciate it. And I have to tell you the post about," and then I talk about it. And sometimes I write a paragraph, sometimes I write a sentence. This could be, you made a post about breastfeeding and how it's really hard for some moms, and formula feeding is okay, because that's something I personally struggled with. I only got to breastfeed for like 6 weeks with Mari, and I just didn't make enough. So I struggled with, am I a bad mom? I can't provide for my child, blah, blah, blah. So I talked about that to this gal, and then I move on to say, I like to get to know my followers so that I can create valuable content. I would love to learn more about you, and if you have any fitness goals you're working on, hope you have a great week. Okay, done. Send. I don't think I have ever gotten crickets back. I'm pretty confident that every single person that I've sent this message to has messaged me back. And it's typically like at least a paragraph, sometimes up to 4 paragraphs of stuff telling me about themselves. Like complete strangers. It's awesome. So like it says, wait for a response, and then you can do one of 2 things. So I'm planning on doing a free group once a month near the beginning of the month. So I want to always have something to invite them to. So if I haven't planned it yet, I say, I have a free group coming up. It hasn't been set dates, but just know that it's there, so keep an eye out for it. Other coaches give out what's called a freemium. So it could be like 5 last-minute recipes for busy families, or a quick how-to workout video that you've created, something that adds value to their life. And you could say, I have this, quick 5 recipe guide that I have just as a thank you for, following me on my page. What email should I send it to? And then, you're building that connection with them. So that's just something to consider with these new likes with that. So, and be jotting down questions if you have any for me as we go through these. We're almost done. I wanted to kind of speed through this so that we could talk about some other things because people had some other questions. All right, so always keep your market lukewarm. So this is what I meant by not really having a cold market. So you're always just wanting to continue to expand that circle of people. So these could be when you're scrolling through your news feed, sometimes Facebook has this scrolling picture wheel of suggested friends, so people that have mutual friends with you. I often look through those and see if there's anybody that I want to add as a friend, and then I go through that same list of steps on connecting with them. And obviously I wouldn't say thanks for following me on my page, but I would say, hey, I love meeting new people, and I see that we have a bunch of mutual friends. Just wondering if you would like to join my free group or something like that. So that one I haven't done as much of, but I definitely have done it a couple of times. Also, referrals are a way to expand your warm market, and I talked about that in the last team call. These can be referrals from current challengers or people that say no and just say, well, if it's not right for you, is there anybody else that would maybe want to join my group that I could connect with? And then just mutual friends through conversation and gathering more people that way. All right, so those are all just kind of your lukewarm strategies. They could be cold market if somebody who doesn't have any mutual friends with you ends up liking your page. But what I want to talk about here at the end is the advanced Facebook training. So some of you have been through this, some of you have just peeked at it, but Marion Green, our 7-star upline, has given us access to these tutorials on how to use Facebook ads to really target in on your market. So just to let you know, if you do dive into this, you have to be willing to spend a little bit of money. I think over the course of a month while I did the training, I probably spent somewhere around $40–45 on ads. And what you do when you walk through the process, just to kind of summarize it for you, is you're going to create images that you're going to push out to certain audiences, and you're going to have multiple images, and then you figure out which one ends up giving you the cheapest engagement. So, the most clicks per, cost. So you put $3 on all your ads and you have them run at the same time, and whichever one has the cheapest engagement amount, that's the one that you keep, and then you take that image and then you change the wording on a bunch of them, and you keep honing in on what is the most valuable image and wording that I can use so that people are going to want to click on it, engage with it, and once you get that winning image and wording, then you can start pushing it out to different audiences. So, like for instance, me, I have an audience for educators. I built an audience of Christian women and a few others, and I'm able to then test that image out into those groups to see if I can gain likes. Now, I spent $40-ish, but over the course of that month, I gained probably 400 to 500 page likes just from doing these ads. So the reason I want to bring this up is with more page likes, when new people come to your page, it's just inevitable that if you have a higher number, people are going to see you as a more credible person, and they'll end up liking your page. So if you go to a coach's page that has like 30,000 page likes, you're probably more inclined to also follow that page versus someone who has 100 page likes, who's just starting out. So there is value in just having that number be higher, and yes, it's unfortunate that we would have to spend money, but it is a business, so you're going to have to invest a little bit on the front end to gain on the back end. But it's also, I want to stress, not required. So Lindsay Matway, who is one of the top coaches in the company, does not do Facebook ads, doesn't do any sort of advertising at all. And she's able to run she's made millions of dollars, okay? So some people swear by them and some people say they don't need them. So I don't want you to think that I'm telling you have to spend money on Facebook ads, because that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's an option for you, and this advanced Facebook training actually does work. It does have a password on it, so if you do want to be added to that, just message me after the call and I can give you that password. But it ends up giving you some pretty dirt cheap page likes, and these are going to be true cold market editions. So just know that it's available. And the main reason I want to bring this up is so many of you have awesome content. You're really good writers, super positive and motivational, but no one is seeing your posts because you have such a small following. So that would be, I guess, my one thing to consider if you're willing to put in the money just to get your reach higher. It's, in my opinion, I want everyone to see your posts because you're good at them, they're genuine, and they're not salesy, and I want everyone to see them. I wish I could share all of them, and then that wouldn't, yeah, whatever. I can't do that, but I just encourage you to consider it, and you can talk to me personally, and we can decide if that's really something you want to dive into. But just know that it's there. So I am going to stop my screen share here. And I know this is going to be choppy, so bear with me, but I did want to answer a couple of questions. I think Aaron had the question of how I'm able to add a bunch of coaches recently. And I just want to speak to that a little bit. Lisa has been in my most recent challenge group, and I really liked hosting it completely by myself, and that's nothing against you guys. I love co-hosting. But I really felt like I was able to make a deeper connection with the people who signed up with just me. And there were, I believe, 8 or 9 ladies in there. Can't remember. And all but 2 of them became coaches. Some discount coaches, and some obviously, like Lisa, is, you know, jumping in and wanting to learn more. So I just talked about it a lot, and I don't know, it's just about having those conversations, and sometimes they're in the group and sometimes they're personal messages, but just really encouraging them and letting them know, like, you being positive is really what coaching is all about. And you're positive in this group and you're encouraging other people, and that's really like the bulk of what we do, is we just lift people up and make them feel confident that they can reach their goals. So I don't know, there's not really any secret to it. I don't know, I talk to him about it, and I'm not ashamed to let people know that it's my passion and that it's doable and duplicatable, and that really anybody can do this. And some of them just want the discount and they don't want anything to do with the team page, and I definitely want to just run with the runners, and so I don't add them to the team page when they're, you know, they fill out my survey once they become a coach, and that gives me kind of a litmus test of knowing, okay, do they, if anyone says, no, I absolutely am here just for the discount, I don't add them to the team page. But if they say I want to dip my toe in the water, I add them, because I'm hoping at some point they would be inspired by something that I post or someone else posts, and they would, you know, take the initiative to want to build something. So yeah, not everyone that I added is going to jump in, but I figure why not put them in there to hopefully inspire something. You can unmute yourselves if you have a question or anything. Otherwise, we can be done and we can just continue answering questions on the team page if you have any later on. We good? Good to go? All right. Thanks for coming, ladies. We'll see you on the page.
Bye, guys.